Do you wanna know what the best gear is to use in your YouTube studio? We've got the answer. Keep watching and you'll find out what it is. Roll that intro.
Hey everyone, my name's Becca and this is my husband Royce.
Hi.
You are finding us here in our studio today, and we have had some requests about doing a little bit of a studio gear tour.
So that's what this video is all about. All the stuff that we use to make our YouTube videos. Honestly, this video is just for Chrissy because she's the one that asked.
We love you. We'll put a link to her YouTube channel in the description below because we love her and she does awesome videos.
So we've been doing this YouTube journey for 2 years now. And I have to be honest that when I was thinking about how much research and time I spent learning how to make videos, learning about cameras, learning about YouTube, I'm pretty sure that I've spent more time learning those things than I spent getting my master's degree.
Wow. We started out on YouTube doing music videos. Can we play a clip?
Yeah. Let's roll back to that clip. I still walk with you. That was priceless.
Right? I mean, Grammy worthy.
Then we evolved to making vlogs on our iPhones, which were slightly better. Let's play a clip of that.
That was us when we were in Paris. I want to go back.
We slowly evolved over time to getting more gear and learning more things. We want to take you guys on a tour of how we've ended up.
I am definitely the natural light, the least amount of setup possible. And Royce is definitely what other gear can we buy kind of person.
So speaking of light, right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11 lights on right now. We're gonna divide this video into 4 sections. First section, we're gonna talk about our video equipment, our cameras, and why we chose them. Second section, we're gonna talk about audio, what microphones we use and why we chose those. Third section is lighting. You get to learn all about those 11 lights. And then the fourth section, we'll talk about our studio design and why we did what we did. I'll be sure to put those chapter markers down so you can skip around and you can come back. Another thing to be aware of, because I've done so much research and because I'm such a perfectionist and because I'm so obsessed with gear, I've typically gone for the best thing in most of these categories. The only place I didn't do that was in lighting. But in case...
And that was because of his wife.
Yeah, she stopped me. But don't worry, I'll get my way eventually. We'll link all of our gear that we use down in the description in case you want to buy it. But if you're on a budget and you can't afford some of these things because they're really expensive, what we'll do is when we've bought the best, most expensive thing, right underneath that, we'll link a comparable alternative that's almost as good, but way cheaper.
Yeah.
So instead of a $2,500 camera, you might be able to spend $500 and get pretty good quality. So we'll give you both options in case, that helps. One other final thing, Becca is a professional photographer, and I have used that as an excuse to get a lot of this gear by saying hey Becca, don't you need this, for your photography? Couldn't you use this with a client?
Which a lot of it I do use now. I probably never would have bought it for my business, but now that we have it, I use it and it's great.
That tells me we're eventually gonna get the lights that I want.
Oh, there's a fly. Did you catch that? Shut up.
I got him!
Wait. You let him go and I think I got him.
No.
Yeah!
Since we're here, let's start with the cameras. So we use 2 main cameras when we do our vlogs and our videos. One is the EOS R, we'll show you that in a sec. And the other one is the GH5.
The Canon EOS R.
Let me get the other cameras. Before we were thinking about being full-time YouTubers or trying to be full-time YouTubers, we bought this for taking small travel pictures. And then Becca had this beast for her
This is what I
professional photography. When we were making those music videos, I'm oh, Becca has a camera, let's just use that. And this is surprisingly good video for being an older camera. It's really sharp, really clear, but I'm not gonna recommend this for your vlogs because it's mainly for photography.
And it's very expensive.
And it's old. How much is this camera?
The whole set with the lens?
Yeah.
$6,000.
Don't buy this camera for vlogging.
I got it on Craigslist though.
That's true, for half price. We use these occasionally. When we first started out, we were using this because it has pretty sharp video. Autofocus is pretty good, but it's a Fujifilm X E3.
I would say the photo quality is pretty awesome, and this is what we brought with us when we traveled to Europe because it can fit in my purse and it's small and it's light.
No image stabilization. That's the key takeaway for the Fujifilm. No image stabilization. No image stabilization. So then when we're like, let's get serious about vlogging, let's make cool videos, we did a ton of research, and we chose the GH5 by Panasonic, which is a good camera. Like, it's a good camera. We're not going to tell you all the prices as we go because I forget, but we'll make sure to list that down in the description.
Right. We got the 12 to 35 lens for the GH5.
Which, this is a crop sensor, so that equals 24 to 70, which gives you a lot of flexibility. What it doesn't do is get you super wide. Having a wider lens is way better for vlogging. Way better. Because when we're using this for vlogging, you got to hold it like, this is as wide as it goes.
That's as wide as it goes.
And it's just...
Which, it's wide, but...
Do you see how far I had to hold it away from my face?
How far you have to hold it away. We were comparing the EOS R and the GH5. And so at the time, we had a little bit more limited budget, and that is one of the reasons why we ended up choosing the GH5.
And it's a great camera. It's sharp.
It is a good camera.
It's got a great bit depth.
The frame rate options and the image stabilization is way better in the GH5.
It goes up to at least 120. I think it might go higher. It's an awesome camera. And it's got all kinds of metering modes. It's got waveforms, it's got zebras. So that's why we got it. We used it for like a year.
Yeah, a year.
There are a couple reasons that we moved to the Canon EOS R.
Finally. One of the things that I really wanted was a full frame camera. The GH5 is not a full frame camera, and the EOS R is. And so for photo quality, if I wanted to use one of these cameras for my business, I would want a full frame. Why can I not say that? I would want a full frame camera. That's one reason.
The second reason is the autofocus. The autofocus in the GH5 is horrible. It's horrible. Like, for a filmmaker or for a videographer, someone who's standing behind the camera, who's able to set the focus, that's not an issue. But when you're trying to vlog and there's no one on the other side, like, monitoring your focus, and you just can't trust the GH5 to always stay in focus. When we got the EOS R, it's like insane. So much better.
It's so quick.
But like...
You probably could see. I think you can see.
It's amazing. And so if you just want to make casual videos for like YouTube vlogs, I don't think I would recommend this camera. But if you want to make awesome looking videos, give you a lot of flexibility in post, this is a fantastic camera. Just remember that the autofocus is not good. Let's move on to our favorite camera right now, and that's the EOS R. So that's the EOS R. The image quality for pictures is amazing. Right now what we have on this camera is a 15 to 35, which is really great for vlogging.
Super wide. So
if you're not a photographer and you're looking for a great vlog lens, this is a good one if you have the EOS R. 15 to 35, actually that should be the first lens you get if you're a vlogger or like creating YouTube videos on the Canon EOS R. The major downside is how expensive Canon glass is. It's like $2,300 for that lens.
Any good glass for any camera is expensive.
So no, we really love the EOS R, and we really love the EOS R. I would be lying if I said we weren't looking forward to the R5. Leave a comment below if you're looking forward to the R5. Okay, so if you're trying to figure out what the next camera is for you or what camera you should start with, the EOS R is super user-friendly. The menu system is much easier to navigate than the GH5. You have less options though. You have lower frame rates and you have crop in with 4K. If the EOS R is out of your price range, Canon M50 is a great choice. It's way cheaper and you still get a really great product.
I just want to follow all of this up by saying, your iPhone is an amazing camera.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty incredible.
We just shot a whole vlog on our iPhones.
Too.
We don't gotta make it complicated.
Sometimes bringing all this equipment with us is just a hassle. I don't want to draw all the attention of these giant cameras with the microphone on top with a handle to hold it. It draws a lot of attention, and when you just have your iPhone, people don't really, they just think you're like talking to your grandma or something on FaceTime.
So if you have your iPhone and you want to know how to start a vlog, just use your iPhone and shoot your vlog. The most important thing that I hate saying as a tech guy is story is king. It's not some kind of whack expression, it's true. If you don't have a good story, no one's gonna watch your video, which we've learned by making tons of videos that didn't have good stories that no one watched. Get your iPhone, get your GoPro. It doesn't matter what kind of camera it is. Have a good story, document it with whatever you got. If you're looking for a great camera, EOS R, GH5. Try those.
And get creative with it, have fun with it, and you can really do that with any camera that you have.
So these are our cameras. Now let's talk about audio. People say audio is more important than image quality. That's what people say. I agree. First thing we started with was
Maybe I should talk about it since I don't know anything about it.
I like it. Go ahead.
All right. The first thing we got was the Rode Microphone Pro.
Video Mic Pro Plus.
Yep. One of the reasons we got it was because when you turn the camera on, when it's plugged into the camera, it turns on the microphone. So it's not two different things you have to remember to turn on.
Which is fantastic. And when you turn it off, it turns off and you don't waste the battery. Buy the dead cat if you're going to be shooting outside. Let me show you what a dead cat is. This is a dead cat.
It's just that fuzzy thing that you see.
It looks like a dead cat and it cuts down the wind noise. That's all it does.
We had like a $20.
I'll get that. This will work if you're a very limited budget. It's like 20 bucks. Mic placement is everything. If you got your mic like all the way over here and you're talking to it, it's just not gonna sound as good as if it's this close. The microphone we're using right now is like 6 inches away from our faces.
It's right here.
Wait, hold on, let me get the camera and get a video of it.
And Royce kept telling me, it needs to be really close. I'm like, no, I don't want it that close. Who cares? I don't care. And now I care like a little bit more. Is it even on?
Yeah, it's on. That's how close it is. Let's put your hand there.
Oops.
Did you touch it?
Yeah, accidentally.
Rode Video Mic Pro Plus. It sounds great. Let's just give you an example. Just tape me.
No, I'm taping myself.
Okay.
So this is what the Video Rode Mic Pro Plus.
Rode Video Mic Pro Plus. This is what it sounds like. A couple important things you want to think about when you're using a microphone, even if it's an expensive microphone, is microphone placement and also EQ and post. That can make a big difference. This Video Mic Pro Plus is really bass heavy, and you really need to take some of that out in post. So it's another skill to learn, and it won't like make or break your audio if you don't do it. But something important to think about. We moved on for this. We thought, well, you know what? We need a boom microphone, which is a microphone that like comes out and down.
Oh, we said that.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't. Royce said that. We gotta go get our daughter while Royce looks for this other microphone that we're gonna show you.
Okay, bye. Okay, we're back. We have Philippa here.
Okay.
So this is the microphone I got when I moved to like the boom shotgun microphone. The idea is like we just showed you hang it above your head like right here, and it makes really great sound. It rejects sound from everywhere else. This is like a really cheap one, or a cheaper one. It's like $100-something, and it's good enough. Not for me.
Yes. Do you sense a pattern here?
Yeah, so we upgraded after like a year of having this. It sounds great, it just didn't sound great enough. The problem with shotgun microphones is they require external power, and they don't have an input that goes right into the camera. So the way we solved this is by getting an external recorder, which is, this is a Tascam, and their Zoom is the higher end brand, which I wish I would have gotten. I didn't really like this as much, but it works. It supplies power to the microphone. Then you have to sync, you put a memory card in here and you have to sync it in post. This is one way you can do it. So then what did we do? We upgraded to the microphone you already saw. So this is an Audio Technica. We upgraded to Rode, sense a pattern here. The Rode NTG4 Plus.
I'm impressed that you're pulling out these names.
I spent a lot of time researching this, okay? So the advantage about this is it's self-powered. There's a battery inside that you can recharge, which is pretty rare for microphones that require external power. It can also be powered by phantom power if you have another box. You still can't plug it directly into your camera, and so I found another piece of gear that's really helpful, and I'm gonna show that to you now. Okay, so this is a Beach Tech DXA Micro Pro Plus. So what this does is you take your XLR, which is your normal out from a microphone, and you plug it from the microphone, you plug it into here, and then you do an out, like an 1/8 inch, like a headphone jack out from here, and then it goes right in here into the camera. And so your advantage of this is you get a nice preamp. This gives you better sounding audio, and this also allows you to split it, so you can set 2 different audio levels, so you can have one as a safety track. You can also attach this to the top of your camera or to the bottom of your camera, super easy, and they sound amazing.
If you're wanting to just do vlogs on your iPhone, we'll link in the description below a good external microphone if you want to upgrade your audio quality from your iPhone. But some things we've noticed is that the audio from an iPhone is usable. I would say the only hard time is if you're out in the wind, then you'll definitely get wind noise. Let's move on to lighting. The natural sunlight is the best. Natural light is hard to control.
That's why we have so many lights. We started off with this $50 lighting kit.
From Amazon.
And then we're like, well, we need a little more power, a little more control. And so then we got a ring light.
And I like the ring light.
If we were gonna recommend a light that you get right now to make your videos look better, it would be a ring light. They're super cheap and super easy to set up, super easy to control the brightness. We're still using all those lights, just not as our main lights.
Correct.
We have these 2 key lights, which are the main lights that light your face. That's a term for it. And they're made by Godox. The ultimate lights that we would wanna get are aperture lights.
That Royce would wanna get.
That I would wanna get. But they're like $1,000 a light, plus the diffusion, which is another $250. Eventually.
Nah, bro.
The Godox lights are like $130.
Here, do you want to play with the dead cat? Meow.
So these are the Godox lights. And then we have a newer diffusion attached to them.
They have the double diffusion in them. So the closer the lighting is to your subject, the softer it will be.
This is like probably the cheapest setup we could recommend for like a key light. If you're looking for professional.
For professional looking with not like aperture pricing. The downside of these Godox lights is that we have now learned that they're very loud.
But it's a pretty common complaint with these Godox lights, is they're pretty loud. I mean, it's negligible, probably. You probably can't even hear it. Unless you're using like really high quality gear and really particular, probably not gonna notice. So this is the ring light we were talking about. We now use this to light our background.
Light the background.
And those up there, they're just little like lights that we use now to just light up the scene.
And then we have these little tiny aperture lights that are magnetic. So you can actually control them with your iPhone. We'll put a link in the description below of someone that has actually done a review on these that we watched, which is why we wanted these. They're super easy to magnetize to things, put on things. We're using them as our hair lights, but we've used them as
practical
lights around our sets and when we do recording in other parts of the house.
So his hair lights are probably like not the best because they run on batteries and then they run out if you're like doing a lot of shooting. But we didn't have anything else and I'm not allowed to spend any more money on lights. So we just use what we already had. I'll show you the difference they make if you're wondering what's the point of a hair light. Okay, ready?
See? Yeah.
Turning it off. It's off.
Uh-huh.
Now it's on.
Hopefully you could tell a difference.
Hopefully.
Because I don't think it makes that big of a difference. But
Okay.
To all you actual professional videographers out there.
So we're at
like
1, 2, 3, 4,
blasphemy.
5, 6,
Oh,
7.
I have a dead cat fur all over you.
So we're at 7 lights. Here's the number 8. Practical lights are just like lights that make sense to be in the scene. So that was on my desk and now it's in here. Then we have this Royce and Becca, which is 9. So I guess we only have 10 lights.
And then we have the nightlight that I used after Philippa was born on my nightstand when I would wake up and feed her in the middle of the night.
And the cool thing about that egg light that we got for Philippa,
it changes color.
Yeah, we just make it yellow for contrast. We've covered video.
Are you overwhelmed yet?
We've covered video, we've covered audio, and we've covered lighting.
Design.
Set design.
That's my
I'm gonna let Becca take this whole entire thing because I'm really bad at set design.
One of the problems we have is our studio is a smaller bedroom, right? Royce was filming his other YouTube channel, which he's now stopped, in this room. And so one of the first things we wanted was a couple different sets that we could film in different parts of the room and get a different look. Now that he stopped that, we have incorporated some of the stuff from his set into our set, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Since we're filming on the big wall, the biggest wall in the room, I wanted to create depth so that it's a little bit more interesting. We also wanted to be off the back of the wall to create depth and depth of field. The stuff in the back would get blocked by our bodies when we were off the wall. And so now what we've decided to do is split the set in two. And so we like to say that it's my side and Royce's side. So we have the dresser back here with some pictures just leaning up against the wall because I wanted to avoid hanging stuff on the wall just in case we wanted to change it. And then we have Royce's side, which is his bookshelf. So one of the reasons why I chose the bookshelf, I liked the glass because if you can tell, the practical light kind of shines on the shelf below it. And so it's creating more depth than just a solid shelf. It's also pretty deep, so we can move the books forward and put a light behind it, and it just creates more contrast, more depth, more interestingness in the background. The dresser acts as storage, so I wanted to make sure that we had some storage in here because we have a lot of gear. And I wanted something that if we were to move, it could match my other furniture in our house. I like the natural wood. I think it's warm and inviting. And I wanted our set to be, kind of feel like a living room, homey, something that you would want to come in, just sit down and have a cup of coffee. So 2 of the pieces I bought had glass on them and I didn't realize that it's gonna reflect light. So one of the reasons why we decided to put things off to the side is because the light was reflecting in the glass pieces. So this piece in particular has glass on it, but I really loved the picture. I loved how simple it was. I wanted it, I wanted the pieces kind of geometric, but it had glass in it, but I still wanted it in the set. So we've covered it up with a piece that doesn't have reflective, the glass on top of it. It's just kind of like a matte finish. The Captain Cat.
Who doesn't want to be a Captain Cat? So, hold on.
That has followed us from our house in Georgia all the way to here. I bought it as a joke, and it's just kind of kept coming with us everywhere. So as far as the table goes, we used it for one of our videos, and I actually liked it. I liked being able to rest on it. I just felt weird sometimes sitting in front of the camera without having something in front of us. We can keep my water on it.
We can put Philip on it.
It's just kind of practical, and it feels more like you're just sitting in our living room or in a kitchen, hanging out with us. So we've just kept using it, and I got this at IKEA. I think it was like $60.
So this is all the gear that we use to make our YouTube videos. We don't use it all at once. Sometimes like mix and match things. And sometimes we just use our iPhones. It all depends on the kind of video we want to make and the kind of time we want to spend editing.
Right. Having a separate room that we can just leave all the gear up has been really helpful for just whenever we get creative or have an inspiration for a video topic, we can just come in, turn the lights on, and start recording.
Philip is about to lose it, so we're gonna end this video real quick. A couple things we want to close with. You want to start making YouTube videos, use whatever you've got. If you got an iPhone, great. If you got a DSLR, great. But just start making videos. And remember, story matters.
Tell your story. It's important. I think that's one thing that we're learning is everyone's got a story to tell, and it's not an excuse that so-and-so does this and so-and-so does that already.
You have a unique story, a unique perspective that no one else has.
Just start with what you have.
Which is what we did. And the truth is, if I wasn't so obsessed with gear, we would have a lot less. You don't need all this to make a YouTube video. I just like to have it because it's fun. You know, in case you don't believe me, there are tons and tons of YouTubers out there, and I think I'll link a couple of them in the description, who use a GoPro or who use an iPhone and have tons of subscribers and make great videos that we watch.
Yeah.
So did you find this video helpful? Did you like seeing the tour of our YouTube studio? Let us know down in the comments.
Yes, please. If you have any questions, also, Royce would be happy to help you.
I've got tons of resources, so many. Literally, guys, 2 years of learning stuff.
We don't know it all, but what we do know, we're happy to share.
That's right, that's true. Seriously, every day we're learning, and we really believe in that 1% rule. Like, everything you do, the next time you do it, make it 1% better. Do you guys want to see more of these kind of videos? We could make them if you wanted to see them. Just let us know. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, share with your friends, because we can't do this without you.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.